Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. Today I'm going to film the assumptions about me tag. I've seen this video go around quite a bit on YouTube lately, and I thought it could be an interesting video to kind of challenge myself with and see what your assumptions about me are, and then we can talk about them and I can let you know if they're true or false, and hopefully this will be a way for you guys to get to know me a little bit better. And I'm really excited. I'm kind of nervous though. I haven't really looked through them yet because I want this to be really raw and on the spot, so we're gonna go through them together. These are all of your responses that you sent in, so there's a lot. This is a good one. She says, I feel like you never eat any junk food. I can't imagine you eating a french fry or even a slice of cheese. So I definitely do indulge from time to time in less healthy food. I love sweet potato fries. That's like my thing. Whenever they have sweet potato fries, I always order it, and Mo and I will sometimes share a dessert as well. So those are like my not so healthy moments, but I think it's really important to have a balance because when I cook at home, I just cook clean. I know myself at this point that if I buy unhealthy stuff, I will eat it. Like, I have very little self-control when it comes to unhealthy but on the healthier end of junk food. So I just avoid that by not getting things that I know that I'm going to just eat like the whole thing of, and then I'll save my little like indulging moments or treats for when we go out to restaurants, or if I'm having lunch with a friend or something and there's a really delicious like vegan apple cake or something like that, I will enjoy that with my whole heart, but I won't have that stuff here at home. She also mentioned if I have a slice of cheese from time to time, but to be honest, I don't have any excitement or desire to eat dairy products, like regular dairy products. I haven't had like cow's milk or cow's cheese or yogurt or ice cream or anything like that in years. I think it's been about 5 years since I totally stopped eating dairy, and I did that because of my skin and just like my overall health and well-being. And there's so many alternatives these days to traditional dairy products like milk and cheese and yogurts and ice cream and pretty much anything dairy you can find in a plant-based version. And I know that it's just going to mess up my skin as well, so I just stay far away from any dairy product. The next assumption is you and Mo don't ever fight. So this is not true. I would say for the most part we get along really well. I mean, we are engaged and we live together, so I hope that would be the case, but we just genuinely have a really good friendship, and we're very supportive of one another, and we work together a lot. But we definitely have our moments when we don't get along, when we argue, when there's things that we just don't agree on. I think it's totally normal and part of a healthy relationship to be able to communicate and to talk through things, because I genuinely feel that whenever we do have an argument or a discussion, or just like we're not getting along, when we solve that, we're always closer, and I feel like I always learn more about him and he learns more about me, and then we get better. Someone wrote, you wear matching bra and panties because your life is that organized, lol. Love you. Love you too. No, this is not true. That is a very romantic and yes, highly organized thing to do, but that's just not true for me. Someone wrote that you are really kind. I hope that that's true. I do think it's so important to be a good person, just like forgetting about everything else, just showing love, showing kindness, showing compassion to other people. You never know what somebody is going through, and sometimes just a little smile or a compliment or something, like just sending out your good energy, can make the world of difference for a person. The next assumption is you come across as perfect and put together. I like that you've been showing more rawness. So there's actually a few other ones here. Assumptions about being perfect, that my life is perfect, that I'm always feeling good. Letting you guys in on different parts of my life has been something that has been transformative to myself as a person, and I think also my YouTube channel, because as much as I embrace and I try to share with you guys what really works for me when it comes to happiness and feeling good and just feeling confident in life, there is a lot of struggle that goes into it as well, and a lot of things that maybe you guys didn't always know about me or don't always see, and that's like the shadow bit, you know, that's where the real work happens. And it's important to honor that as well, because I definitely don't want to come off as like one-dimensional and that I'm always like flying high and stuff, because there is many days where I sometimes just get into a funk, you know, and I just like, I have to snap myself out of it, and I have to be there for myself, because I don't want to rely on like external things to fix that. I know that it's something within my own mind, within my own heart. I struggle sometimes with not feeling good enough. I am judged a lot on YouTube, of course, because if you do put yourself out there, like 99.9% of the people are amazing, and then you have that like 1% of people, or sometimes more, sometimes less, and they come for you and they will like point out things about you that maybe you are already insecure about, or that you didn't really think about before, and then it kind of like lingers in your mind. So if you're already a little bit sensitive, or you've not had the best day, those things can really affect you, and then it can kind of like spiral, you know? I've mentioned this before, but I try not to sulk in my own misery. I try to like snap myself out of it as quick as possible, because it's just so unproductive, like to feel not good. There's so many things that I want to do during the day that I know if I just sit and sulk, I am not going to be able to do those things, and then I'm going to feel even worse afterwards. But that doesn't mean to not acknowledge your feelings. That's why I really like journaling and having those moments to reflect, because if you allow your thoughts to process, you can release them from your body and they don't get stuck. That's something that is so important. I've been reading Dr. Joe Dispenza's book called Becoming Supernatural, and he talks a lot about like the scientific end of energies and meditation. It is an incredible book. With that said, I think moments of sadness or not feeling good could actually be a gift disguised, because if we don't face the things that are making us upset or sad or depressed, it could actually be a missed opportunity to change your life. For example, if you're in a relationship and you just feel bogged down all the time, you don't feel appreciated, respected, loved, and you don't feel like you can be your best self in the relationship, if you were to just kind of like let go of those feelings and not acknowledge them, it could prevent you from leaving that relationship and finding another relationship that is more fulfilling for you. Same thing goes with your career, with your job, or even with your living situation or with your health. Sometimes it is really important to face those things in our mind that are making us upset and ask why is that making me feel that way? Then what can I do to make myself better? So I guess it's about having a good balance between letting like negative thoughts go and not paying attention to them, and then also knowing like when to actually make a change and act on something that is not making you feel good. The next assumption is that I make millions on YouTube. I wish that I could say that that was true, but no, I'm not making millions. But YouTube is my main job, and I treat it as a full-time job. And if I could make millions one day, that would be amazing, because I know that I would use that money in a really good way. I don't think I would be going to buy a mansion or anything like that. Like, I would invest it into really cool things that could improve all of our lives. The next assumption that I've seen quite a lot of actually, and it's quite similar to the previous assumption, but that is that I have a big fortune from my family or from my parents, and that is definitely not true. I am fully independent. I make my own money. I don't ask my parents for anything, and I don't have like a savings account with money from my parents or anything like that. So no, that is not true. The next assumption is that I am religious. This was also something that came up a few times, and I wouldn't say I'm religious like a traditional religion. I don't follow a traditional religion, but I did grow up with my mom, who is Christian, and my father, who is Muslim, and I was exposed to both practices and cultures, and I went to churches and I went to mosques, and I loved that so much. Both of my parents are also quite spiritual, like they have a close connection to God, and I think I took most from that from my parents, not really the organized religion type of part, but just having that connection and knowing that there's something bigger than ourselves that is producing this magic and this amazingness that is planet Earth and that is the world and the universe, and taking time in the day to be mindful of that and like stopping and realizing what is actually going on here. I have many moments like that, especially also when I was younger. I would get into these kind of like daisy moments or like little daydreams, and I would think like, wow, we're on this planet that's just spinning in the middle of space. Like, what is this? I remember with my dad, if I would ask for something, if I wanted something, he would always say, just ask God, ask him directly. And at the time when you're a kid, you're like, you don't really understand that, but now I get what he meant. And my mom is also very like connected and conscious about the universe and how it works. And she also introduced me to a kind of different like approach to looking at spirituality and religion. So I loved having both of their inputs and then creating something or creating my own belief for myself. I truly believe we're all here for a reason, and that love is what connects us and brings us closer, and honoring that struggle that we all have to go through to kind of like crack the shell open of who we really are. And I think a lot of that has to do with having trust in life, in God, in the universe, whatever you want to call it, and knowing that there is something bigger, and knowing that there is this amazing energy and beautiful power around us at all times. And love and kindness and compassion is what truly connects us all, and like choosing that every time and not going for the fear, not going for the egotistical or fearful part of ourselves, always choosing love and choosing to grow even if there is a struggle involved in that. That's my religion. That is what I try to honor every day, and hopefully by me being at my best, I know that some people also assume that I'm like self-obsessed or something like that, but I truly believe that if you work on yourself and you have this thing figured out and you can do what you're here on earth to do, by doing that you will inspire others to do the same, to shine their own light. And whether that's maybe just your close group of friends or your family, or if you have an online platform and you're talking to thousands of people, through that you're not only helping yourself have an amazing life but also others. So I think that wins above all. The next assumption is that I have no cellulite at all. Girl, I wish that was true. Someone wrote that I secretly love chocolate. Yes, I do. I wouldn't say it's a secret though, but I do love me some chocolate, but I keep it plant-based, so I get chocolate without dairy. The last assumption I'm gonna read is I believe you're both an introverted and an extroverted type of person. That's pretty dope. I do struggle a little bit with defining people as introverted or extroverted, because I think in different situations, at least for me, I get like different things pulled out of me. So in the sense of an introverted person needing their time to replenish and to recharge by themselves, that's me. After I've had a meeting with someone or I've been to an event or something like that, I need to have time to just sit back and literally recharge my batteries. So in that sense, I am introverted, because I believe an extroverted person actually gets energy from being with other people. They feel super buzzed and they can go on to the next event and do the next thing. But on the other hand, I love being here on YouTube with you guys and sharing my story and my little advices or things that I love. I think that might be a quality of a more extroverted person. So yeah, I think that I do have a balance within those. When I meet somebody new, for example, I will make the effort to speak with them and to chat and to like break the ice kind of thing. I have also worked on that within myself, because when I was younger, I was a lot more shy and I guess maybe more introverted. But as the years have passed, I've literally just pushed myself out of my comfort zone so many times that by now it's more comfortable for me to do that and to maybe show my more extroverted qualities. So I think that we all have a little bit of both within us. So those are all of the assumptions that I'm going to answer today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and to everyone who sent in their comments. I'm actually really happy and very like humbly surprised that most of them were actually really nice assumptions and really nice comments. I was a little bit scared because people can be very judgmental, and I think it's always important to not assume too much about a person. There were only a couple like mean comments, but other than that, most of them are just super positive, and I love you guys so much. I hope you're all having a beautiful day. Thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Mwah. Bye guys.